And it's alarming, you know. And we have in Vancouver what we call the Highway of Tears. And we know that in that Highway of Tears, it's to commemorate a lot of the young girls that have disappeared.
They've been abducted.
Yeah.
For this purpose. Something else that the Salvation Army is concerned about and getting proactive about, the Olympics.
That's right.
2010. Why is this a concern?
Well, for one thing, Ben Perrin, who's a law professor at UBC and is a known expert on the subject of human trafficking, has told us that traffickers will see the Olympics as the biggest business opportunity in decades. So we know...
What kind of business?
Well, yeah, the trafficking of people, of course. Yeah, and so we want to be there. We want to be part of the solution. We also, the Christian network, the More Than Gold is a Christian network, that are there with a positive message of Christianity, and there's all kinds of different ministries that will be happening during the Olympics, and people from all over Canada, mission teams from all over Canada, and actually from all over the world will be coming to Vancouver. And it's a wonderful opportunity for the Christian church. And the Salvation Army is in charge of refreshments, and should have guessed that.
How appropriate.
And we have about 15 vehicles that will be out providing refreshments. We're also part of the More Than Gold has an anti-human trafficking component to it as well. And the slogan that they are using, and it's come from a group called READ, which is another group that we partner with.
A group called?
READ.
READ.
Wait, now I'm trying to remember how it goes now. Can't remember the slogan, but anyway.
Well, you percolate. I want folks to know that we've sent a reporter to meet with the director of More Than Gold, and we are, as Crossroads Ministry, will be involved as well, and I believe bringing some reports. So we're very interested in this. This is the Christian coalition, as it were, the presence of the gospel in a united front for the Olympics, through the Olympics. You're still working on that slogan?
Yeah.
They're
For
also,
some reason I can't remember.
They're also meaningful, these handles. Speaking of slogans, the T-shirt, "The Truth Isn't Sexy," is just another fundraiser for this human trafficking cause. Cupcakes. Boy, I'd like to see that travel farther than BC. Who did the cupcakes? Is this just for the month of June?
As far as I know, yes.
Sparkle of Hope Cupcakes.
Yeah, Vancouver. It's a Vancouver-based bakery, and they support lots of nonprofits. And so they've taken on the Salvation Army for the month of June, and our Sparkle of Hope campaign, and of course the anti-human trafficking. And you can buy the cupcakes, and they're delicious. They're really great, and the money goes towards anti-human trafficking.
This hasn't even been a year in the running, Sparkle of Hope, and it's taken over BC. But I think it's safe to say that this could become a national campaign, and projects like the cupcakes and the T-shirts and other creative expressions, because corporations are coming on board, could really sweep the country.
Yeah, definitely. We really believe that. Not just Canada, but internationally as well. The head of the Salvation Army women's groups is going to present the Sparkle of Hope pin at a leaders' meeting in London, England. And so we're hoping that it will catch on there. And yes, we would very much like to make it a national project, and being on 100 Huntley Street, and we thank you for that opportunity. Is certainly helping.
When you're a major, your husband is a major, you've been serving in the Salvation Army, how many years?
37 years.
37 years.
Yes.
I want to mention your children, 4, all serving the Lord. I had 7 grandchildren, but something special has happened very recently.
Yes, we had a little grandchild, a girl, on June 17th. Eden River.
Eden River.
We're pretty excited about that.
Beautiful. And this has been a lifetime of serving the Lord, has anything captured your heart as much as what you're helping to spearhead right now, this human trafficking issue?
I think this has captured my heart like no other subject has in recent days. And I think what really gripped me was I was reading the book called Terrify No More, and some of the stories were just horrendous. In fact, I couldn't read the book. I just had to keep putting it down and taking it up again. And I think one statement in that book that really spoke to me is that Gary Hagen says in the book, you know, when things like this happen, when there's tragedies in the world, people always say, where's God in all this? Mm-hmm. And he said, I think the question we should be asking is, where are God's people? Mm-hmm. And that really spoke to my heart and to my mind. And I thought, you know, what can I do, you know, to be part of the solution, to be part of coming against human trafficking so that we can abolish it. And not only that, I guess when I've done awareness seminars, when I hear the stories, and I heard the story after I'd done awareness seminar, one young woman came to me and she said, you know what, she said, I was trafficked as a child by my own father. And I was put out and used by my uncle and other men. And I grew up in that environment. And she said, and my life became a mess. And then she said, I wanted to get out of the lifestyle. And she said, I've had years and years of therapy. And she said, I thought I would never, ever be healed. And then I met Jesus. And I believe that, and I'm grateful for all the different ministries and all the different psychologists and psychiatrists that help. But I really truly believe that there's a point and there's a place where only Jesus can go to do the healing.
One of the most poignant moments in our first weekend retreat a year ago, right after you showed the video on human trafficking, two women, both in their 70s, just on the spot, began to speak. The first was an Aboriginal woman who, for the very first time in her life, was telling about her lifetime of sexual exploitation. It's as if she had to get that horrible secret of a lifetime out in a safe environment. The issue had been presented. It felt safe with the women. And I have a photograph, and I feel I just can't expose Rose, but I have a photograph of her at lunch that day, and she just beamed. There was something so important about being able to talk about what had been so dark, so hidden for decades. And then another woman in the group did the same thing. A woman who actually had given me a packet with her life story. And afterwards I said, oh, I guess that's what I'm going to read about. She said, no, I didn't include that. And it just is a reminder that there are many people who haven't been taken away, but they have had dark journeys that need healing, and they need a safe place. Jesus is always that safe place.
That's right.
And as you say, Winn, he's really the only healer, the only one who can lift that burden of guilt and shame and make us new. And that's what you've depicted in this crown. That sparkle can return. These are God's precious creation, and He wants them to know the joy and the hope and the fulfillment of being His beloved children. And we can be a help in that. And I just want to remind you of the website. You can be wearing this crown and helping to make this a reality for others. The website again, Winn, is?
TheTruthIsn'tSexy.ca.
.ca. Winn, thank you for what you're doing. I'm waiting for this to be a national reality. Will you work toward it?
Oh, we certainly are.
Okay.
Yes.